This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glyn Lavender.
Hi, and welcome to episode 584 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com, and joining me once again from creativephotoworkshops.com.au, it is Mr. Glyn Lavender. How are you?
Well, welcome to 2029, mate. It's lovely to see you.
It feels a bit like that.
It's been that long between podcasts, hasn't it? Yeah.
It has.
We're coming up on the tricentenary edition of our podcast.
There we go.
300-year anniversary.
That's it. So I guess absolutely nothing of interest has happened in the last 6 weeks since we recorded, so we might as well just call it a night.
Well, no, hang on a sec. There was a comet that exploded itself behind the sun over the weekend just gone.
Oh, really? How do they know? If it was behind the sun, how do they know?
It didn't come out t'other side.
Oh, okay. I suppose that's a reasonable.
But here's the interesting thing about this comet.
Yeah.
It comes around every 800 years or something.
Oh, okay.
And it was seen by Aristotle. So Aristotle wrote about seeing this comet, which is pretty amazing when you think about it.
How do they know it was the same one?
Because it's just mathematics of time. And when he was talking about what he saw,
right, and
they did the calculations of math going backwards on its period, its table at the time it comes around.
Yep.
And they said, well, this is the best possible.
Got to be the one.
Yeah. And now it's gone forever.
Right.
Because it went so close to the sun. It went like halfway between the Earth and the Moon from the sun's surface.
Oh, yeah, that'll get a bit toasty.
So, yeah, and if you're mostly made of ice. So it's pity, because if it had held together, it would have been probably the brightest comet of our lifetime.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah, and of course, typical with anything to do with anything astronomical, it's either cloudy or it blows up behind the sun.
Yeah.
It's one of the two. But there is another comet up there at the moment. It's actually going to be really rare. There's going to be two comets in the sky at the same time.
Wow.
And there's a chance to capture both.
Wow.
In the same, and that's gone. But the other one's okay for cameras too, from what I've seen photo-wise, for people with the skills to do it. Yeah.
Nice.
It's called Comet C3 from memory, or something, or C3PO, C3 or R2D, there's something like that, yeah. So that's been happening in the last 6 weeks. That's pretty good.
Artemis 2 was exciting.
That was a joy.
I was on the verge of tears.
I cried multiple times.
Yeah. And Kath was sitting there beside him. Like, Kath wasn't really invested in the whole thing, and I was going, it's going to be touching down in 30 minutes. I'm going to turn the TV on now. And she's like, oh, okay. So we went in and we, put the TV on and started watching the NASA live stream, and it's come down, and like I'm as emotional as all get out. And she said, why is this affecting you so like this? And I said, I don't know, but I just think it's really freaking cool. And I saw something on Facebook yesterday that said, actually it might have even been today, that said, the reason the world got so emotional about the splashdown of Artemis 2 was, here was an example of what humans can achieve with good intentions and solid science and everybody working together. And we so needed a story like that right now.
I'm not sure it was everybody working together.
Well,
I don't think the Chinese and the Russians I think the Russian space program didn't have a lot to do with it. But tell me, on a similar but slightly different note, has your wife, or have you and your wife ever watched the movie Field of Dreams with Kevin Costner?
I saw that maybe 25 years ago, but I don't really remember it that well.
Yeah, he builds a baseball field in his cornfield. Yeah.
I would really need to watch that again to, and I'd probably have a completely different emotional relationship to that movie now than I did 25 years ago. So,
of course.
What was it about the movie that made you bring that up?
I would suggest that you and your lovely wife sit down and watch it together.
Okay.
And at some point during the movie, she will turn to you and say, what is it about this that's getting you so emotional right now?
Right.
It's one of those things that, and it's not a sexist thing. It's not. It's just that it seems to be something that men are affected by, especially this movie.
Okay.
And women like, yeah, it's like my wife's just like, yeah, whatever, yeah, it's just a man thing, you know. But it's the same thing with Artemis. I mean, I watched it from 10 hours before takeoff.
Oh wow!
Right,
yeah,
continuous live stream for 10 hours before takeoff.
Serious?
And probably watched it for 10 hours a day every day whilst it was travelling.
Dude, seriously?
So I watched 100 odd hours of Artemis 2.
Wow.
I would have watched.
Wow.
Including like the 5 hours before, the 30 minutes before the 5 hours before touchdown.
Wow.
And the 2 hours after until they cut the feed.
Yeah, you know? Right.
Actually,
wow.
Until the last astronaut walked under the camera to go inside the ship to the medical room, and they cut the feed. I watched it to that last minute, you know.
Right.
There's a couple of things. It's whilst I'm of a certain age and I was alive when astronauts were landing on the moon, I was too young to actually have any recollection of it even crossing my brain as something that was happening.
Yeah.
So it's the first time in my known lifetime that I've been able to picture this thing happening, and this grandiose thing of humans being flung out into space like that. I know we've got space shuttles and all the stuff that we've been doing, and that's all cool, but it's a vastly different thing than this.
Yeah.
And all the stuff that's required to make it even possible to function and happen, and the risk. As I said, it's this huge momentous thing for mankind.
Yeah.
And there's not a lot of things in our lifetime that are for mankind.
Yeah, true.
You know, that affects the future of the race that we are.
Yeah.
You know?
It's got me pretty excited about Artemis 4. Like, originally Artemis 3 was going to be a moon landing, but now they're saying that's going to be another flyby and testing of more bits and pieces, and that Artemis 4.
Well, they're going to land. They're going to land a lander on the moon and take off. So, but not a manned lander.
Oh, right. Okay, gotcha.
So they're testing the landing system and the retrieval system, which will be pretty cool to watch as well. Because the footage, of course, they'll be able to get now of them landing on the moon. It'd be quite remarkable.
But the idea that 2.5 years from now we're going to put people on the moon again, that's freaking exciting. And I'm
hanging.
Like, you look at the quality of the photos and the video we got this time, and imagine what it's going to be like another 2.5 years from now.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it's just...
We'll have like 16K instead of 8K. It's like twice as many Ks, Bruce.
That's right.
Yeah. You can't have too many Ks when you're landing on the moon.
That's it.
Earlier today, I sent you a link for a Dropbox folder. I'm not sure if you received that or not.
You sent that to my phone.
It has photos from Artemis that I wanted to talk about too. One of them I consider to be the most remarkable photo ever taken by any human ever on the planet, or off the planet for that matter.
Okay,
ever taken by a person.
The one of the moon with the sun behind it?
The total solar eclipse from space. Yeah. I mean, how freaking unbelievable. And also, I mean, the detail of what you can actually even see even on the moon during the total eclipse, and the stars. Because everyone's always said, what they can tell the moon landing's fake because you can't see any stars, and that's guys, you don't understand exposure. Highlights or shadows. Which one do you want? And this is a case where you can actually get both for once. Because of the but I just think that shot is momentous. It is
absolutely
unimaginable. There's at the pinnacle of human achievement so far in the history of humans. I don't know. Only because, and whilst there's all the things about curing diseases and all that stuff, but this is like a whole race thing. But the entire race of humans have now achieved something so monumental, and as a stepping stone to potentially even more monumental things. I don't know. I just find that just a stunning shot.
You know, I saw quite a few Facebook pages that I follow all talking about this particular factoid of the Artemis 2 mission, and that was the choice of the cameras that they sent.
Yes,
Did you see that? You know, that was the.
I didn't see any, but I can imagine.
It was the Nikon D5 and the Z9. And the reason they sent the D5, which is a 10-year-old camera, was because it has this, like, before it goes into extended mode, its maximum ISO is 124,000 ISO or something.
Oh, okay.
And then in extended mode, it goes to like 3.2 million ISO. Now, anyone who understands how these modes work understands that it's all just mathematics of multiplying the values of, you know, the light intensity that's registered at each photo site on the sensor. So the extended modes are not really...
They're not value adding.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a furphy. But that was the reason that they sent that particular camera, was because it had like the highest, you know, usable
native
ISO that allowed them to get the kinds of shots that they got, which I thought was a really interesting thing. You know, I'm surprised that sensor technology has not moved sufficiently in 10 years for there to be something better available now.
Yeah. And has there been a need for... So here's the thing about... We talk about, well, what's the point of space exploration? In photography, will this now open up a reason to delve beyond what a 10-year-old camera could do? Has there been a need for a Z9 III to do... If there's a Z9, I think there's a Z9 II. I don't know, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But has there been a need in the past to go beyond? But now maybe there is. Now maybe there's something to aspire to that gives them a reason to keep developing. The
contrast between, say, the dark side of the moon and seeing the Earth being lit by sunlight, you know, maybe now there's a reason we need more than 15 stops of dynamic range.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we need 18, 20 stops of dynamic range so that we can see, you know, the bright Earth and see the dark side of the moon, but to see detail in that dark side, you know. So
you just never know where adventure like this leads technology. I mean, war's always been great for technology. War develops things like nothing else.
Yeah,
but big stuff like this, war's big stuff. This is big stuff. Yeah. They have advantages to the common person down the track. You know.
Yep.
So fast. I loved every bit of Artemis too, and I said. I was emotional through the whole thing because it was the human in me that just could grasp. I couldn't even grasp the momentousness of it.
Yeah.
But when something's that big, it's like, oh my god, yeah. And I felt the same way when I saw the first ever double SpaceX boosters fly back down and land on the landing pad that took off. Watching that was like Space 1999 writ large and become real, you know.
Yeah.
And I looked at that and I watched them come down and I just bawled my eyes out.
Yeah, right.
It was just such a remarkable feat to make that happen, you know. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed the NASA talk, guys, and it's a NASA podcast. We've had comets. It's all about the space between.
Absolutely, but you know, I was certainly impressed when I saw those twin Falcon 9 rockets land.
Yeah,
but it didn't touch me the way the Artemis 2 splashdown got me.
Because there's no humans on board.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You know, and the idea that we could fling this little piece of metal, you know, 250,000 miles across empty space, fling it round our nearest planetary neighbour and rely on the gravitational pull of that neighbour to fling this little metal tin can back to us, and then predict where it would splash down to the minute, and I think it splashed down within 1 nautical mile of where they predicted.
Yeah.
And it's just
pretty remarkable.
Damn. It is phenomenal.
You know, 'cause math works.
Yes.
But that also then makes us understand the ginormity of what they did in the Apollo program,
Oh.
with nowhere near the sophistication and nowhere near the technology and nowhere near the computing power.
Yeah, I was just about to say the computers were, less than what we carry in our pocket now.
It's is it hidden numbers, hidden something? There's a movie about these women mathematicians who calculated orbits and stuff, pen and pencil, and they're
reams of paper.
And they're the ones who actually, it was all done by the human mind in those days to make stuff work, which is, again, is remarkable. Hidden Figures, that's the name of the movie. Hidden Figures. It's all about these, I think, 3 or 4 black women who, because they were black in the 60s in America, had its own complications, and women, of course, still has its own problems. And speaking of women still have those same problems, I was coming back, I had to go pick up my kid from camping yesterday, and we stopped in this little country town on the way back, and we're sitting there at a bakery having a pie, and I look across the road, there's a church, and the churches have their signs out the front where they normally have like notifications, and it just said, remember, it's still not safe to be a woman.
Wow.
And I go, oh my, and that's a message from a church. Yeah. It's not safe to be a woman. Yeah. So, I mean, woman, black, 60s, male dominated environment. And it's a great movie. So if anyone hasn't seen it, they should have a bit of a watch, because it's pretty cool.
Yeah, nice.
But, so that was some kind of momentous stuff that's happened over the last 6 weeks, I guess. Yeah.
And of course, I guess we could add to that list a trip to Bangladesh.
I did go to Bangladesh, actually, yeah. You should mention that. I spent the wee 17 or 18 days. I can't remember exactly how long it was. I remember, I think it was about day 14. I was on a Instagram chat group with my fellow Tamarin ambassadors from America. So they're from the Americas. So there's Canadian, there's American, and Mexican, and me. They're all posting what they always talk about what projects they're on and all this sort of stuff. And there's this one guy showing he's at a rocket launch, not Artemis, but another rocket. He's photographing some rocket launch, and someone else is doing this product shoot. And I just posted, I'm 14 days into a 17-day photo tour, and I hope to never take another photo again in my life. I was tired and tired of taking photos. It's a remarkable place, and it's incredibly hard.
What made it hard? Is it just the length of the days?
It's everything. It's food's hard, and to be able to sit and comfortably enjoy a meal in an environment that is restful is not easy, and it's hard to get variety of food, so you're stuck with kind of the same meals over and over and over again in different restaurants, slight variant, but effectively the same kind of stuff. So the hotels they're fine, but they're a little rudimentary, as you expect in a country that's basically 50 years behind the rest of the world. So rest isn't always easy. Plus, as a tour leader, you're having to make sure 8 other people are always healthy, well, and so that's tiring as well. Even outside the shooting. Then sometimes the travel days are tough. Like one day, I think we were 8 hours in the vehicle to travel 160 kilometres. Yeah, so I mean that gives you some indication of what it's like to travel. You're talking getting around. Dhaka is the world's most densely populated city. Tricky to get around. It's the world's most densely populated city. Wow. Yeah, there's 30 million people live in Dhaka. Right. So, but
it's obviously very compact.
Yeah, it's small and and laden, and that's the 30 million they know about. It doesn't include the other probably 10 million they don't know about. Wow. Okay. So getting around is tough. Yeah. And then even like it's not like you're going out landscape shooting where you're sitting by an ocean as the sun rises and you got beautiful clouds and the sun and there's birds flitting around. You're in a brick factory where you're standing on top of a kiln that's blasting 300 degrees of heat out through the bricks that you're standing on, with dust flying everywhere, photographing people lugging armsfuls of bricks on top of their heads. Or you're at a stone quarry where they're digging rocks out of the dirt or crushing rocks in rock crushing machines with the dust and stuff going everywhere. Or you're in a rice drying facility, a chili drying facility, where they're sorting dried chilies by the millions, and you can't breathe. Right. and you can't see because your eyes are watering and your nose is watering, your ears are watering. That's how chilly's in the air. Your ears water, and everyone's coughing continually, and including the people you're trying to photograph, and it's everything is hard, but there's nothing else like it. Where else are you going to see these things that you can shoot these type of the things? It's rough. And then there was one boat trip we had to make across. It was literally only probably 150 meter wide river, but I thought we were all going to die halfway across because I thought we were going to capsize and at the very least, everyone's camera gear is going to be ruined.
Right.
And I'm talking the point that at times I have to lean to my right to keep the boat up, and then have to lean to my left to keep the boat. So I'm balancing the boat by how I lean,
right?
So the water doesn't come over the sides.
Yeah, right. Wow.
So and it's just stuff, and I'm a bit of a control freak, so I want to have control over things, and it's a place where you can't have control. Yeah. In that situation, there is no control. You can't fix things by getting cranky. You can't fix things by demanding something different happen.
Or yelling.
If you're stuck in traffic, there's nothing you can do about it. So it's tough. But I said there is nowhere else on the planet that you will meet friendlier people. The most remarkably friendly people you'll ever meet in your life, who are as genuinely interested in you as you are in them, and that's always a great experience.
Yeah, for sure.
They're the hardest working people on the planet. The entire country is working constantly. Not one person rests. They are constantly on the move. I would love to go and do the life cycle, the life journey of a tomato. I know it seems weird, but when you see that there's farmers, they grow these tomatoes, and the work that's involved in even getting these things to grow in the first place. Now, most of Bangladesh is a river delta, so the soil's good. It's good. It's a farming country. But if you imagine, there's a lot of work to grow a tomato. You plant them. You're going to plant them. You're going to grow them. You're going to water them. You've got to make sure there's not insects. You've got to protect.
I don't do a damn thing for my tomatoes, and they sprout every bloody year.
Just think on a grander scale where you're going to make tens of thousands of them. It's a little bit more work. Then you've got to then harvest all those tomatoes.
Yeah.
Okay. Then you've got to get all those tomatoes into your canoe.
Right.
Then you've got to row your canoe God knows how many miles down this river.
Right.
To a river bank, a sandy river bank, where all these other farmers from who knows where are all rowing in with their tomatoes.
Right.
And then arriving and then unloading all their canoes of their tomatoes and there's hundreds of thousands of tomatoes being unloaded. And they're all in these little baskets, and they'll sell those tomatoes to this guy at the boat. He'll buy them at the boat, and he'll carry them to his little spot, and then people come and buy off him.
Right.
And then the person buys off him. They then load up their basket that they carry over their shoulders. They've got a stick between two baskets, and then they'll walk across this riverbank and up into this village.
Yeah.
To a waiting tuk-tuk. Right. Where they will sell those tomatoes to someone in a tuk-tuk, who will then load up their tuk-tuk with tomato and drive God knows how many hours to whatever town or village they're going to with these tomatoes. Yeah. Then unloading them who knows where, then goes to a street side market where people are trying to sell these tomatoes on the street side. And then the people buy them, and then they take them to restaurants, and then they prepare the meals in the restaurants, and they're served. That whole cycle is the amount of handling that goes into farm to plate is astounding. And that's just, and then you take a step back, and then you see the watermelon boats coming, you see the orange boats coming, you see the eggplant boats coming, you see the cabbage boats coming, you see the cauliflower boats coming, and they're all packed with the best produce you've ever seen in your life. Yeah. The best, the freshest, the most amazing, the freshest. There's not a mark on any of them. They're all perfect coloured. They're all perfect shape. And there's hundreds of thousands.
And they're not grown with pesticides and insecticides.
I would have to go to the farm to find out. Yeah, but that whole cycle is something momentous, and that's just one tiny aspect of life, and everything in their life is like that. You know, we go to this brick making place where there's big piles of dirt delivered. I don't know where the dirt. I'd love to see it. There's like river dirt. I'd love to see where it comes from.
Right.
And then it's piled, and then they water it all down so it gets a bit of a muddy consistency. And then they load it into a wheelbarrow. And then they move over to this big hole in the ground where they've got this machine that they scoop all the dirt into the machine, which compacts it down and squeezes some of the water out. And it comes out they're carving it out with knives.
So like mud blocks.
Big square wet mud blocks.
Yeah.
And they then pass them up out of the hole to this other guy who's got a wheelbarrow. His wheelbarrow is full. Then he walks along and then they unload this wheelbarrow into these big long lines of bricks where there's these guys with these little tiny wooden frames. And they get this dirt and they squish their frame on. They scrape off the excess and lay the brick down flat over and over, 20,000 bricks a day.
Jesus.
And then those bricks are air dried a little bit, and then women and children, then come and load on top of their heads 8 or 10 or 12 or 14 bricks on their heads and walk them all the way to this other area where they pass off to the guys who are stacking the kilns with hundreds and thousands of bricks. And they're built, and then they cover the kiln up, and then they set the fire to that kiln. And then once it's cooled down, there's another lot of people go in and they unload all the bricks out of the kiln, and they're walking off on their heads, and they move it to another pile. And then people take it from that pile to another pile, and then someone comes and buys those bricks, and then they have to load them onto the truck, and they go off to a building, and they get unloaded, and then by hand they build these buildings with these bricks. And said that everything in every single part of their life is this cycle that is just remarkable. You know? And the great thing about the bricks is you can see a fair portion of that cycle in this one little area. From the dirt to the finished product. Yeah. But so many aspects of their life is like that. You know? Yeah, right. The guys using compressed water to wash away sand from this cliff face to find boulders, to lift out these boulders on their head and walk all the way through Upper Quarry to the top where they load it into trucks one boulder at a time, and it's then driven to the rock crushing place, and then people unload them by these boulders, and then they carry these boulders onto these conveyor belts where they crush all the rocks and then into finer, and it just goes on and on.
And what do they do when they find a boulder that's too heavy to lift?
They get 2 people to carry it.
Right.
Yeah, and so being in that environment, it's 35, 36 degrees. It's not massively humid, but humid.
Yeah.
Okay, sometimes it's quite humid. Not horrendous humidity like you can get, but it's humid. You're sweating, but it's
sticky. Yeah,
you're sweating like a pig. It's hot, and you're in these conditions. So that's hard work, and you're doing that for 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah,
that's good. And you do that a couple of times a day in different environments. That's pretty, and then do that for 17 days. Yeah, that's pretty. We were in a spot where they were making propellers. So there's this shipbuilding place where they hand deconstruct container ships. So they pull them apart by hand,
right?
And then they take all the bits that are usable and rebuild new container ships out of these parts. And then they get bits of metal and spark plugs and all sorts of, and they put them into this furnace that's basically just burning oil. So it's oil. So but billowing, stinking smoke, and they're melting down all this metal, and then eventually they put it into a massive kind of
like a cast.
Name. No, it's a particular way of melting metal again. So because it gets all the impurities out,
right?
And it's this big, massive, probably 4 foot high. I can't remember what it's called, but and that's in the ground. And eventually they'll lift it out, and this entire thing has gone molten gold color from the heat. And they're standing there in their shorts and their t-shirts and their bare feet.
Oh,
and they're carrying this thing that is thousands of degrees in temperature, and then they've carved into the dirt with a knife. They've made a shape of a propeller, a mold with a knife in the dirt, and they pour into this dirt to make a propeller.
Wow!
And that's just one tiny component. But the heat and the and there's no way to, and you can't. If you take a wrong step, you could fall into one of these pits of fire.
Yeah.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
We went to see yogurt making.
Right.
What do you think yogurt making? That seems pretty okay, doesn't it? That's going to be a lovely, pleasant little visit. We'll go see these guys, maybe some cows, some milk. We'll make some yogurt. That's, I reckon the interior of the building was 55 degrees. I reckon maybe higher, maybe 60 degrees temperature.
Wow.
That's Celsius, so 130 odd degrees Fahrenheit easily. Because they've got these open pits of fire all the way through the building. And they're putting out, and they're basically open air kilns, and they're putting out enormous, and they're open. You can step over them if you want to, and they're all around you. And it's and the rest of the building's mostly dark. There's a couple of little windows, and then they get and they have these massive vats of milk being boiled on top of these things, and they're stirring and scooping and stirring for hours and hours and hours, and they're adding sugar and all the, and there's like 10 of these things that maybe have like maybe a 500 litre or 1,000 litre container that's on top of this fire, and there's 4 or 5 or 6 of those going.
Wow!
And they get to a certain temperature, and then they start laying out all these little clay bowls that the yogurt's going to go into. But they have to circle them in the pattern around one of these open fire pits. So you're sitting right at this edge of this fire pit, putting down this thing, and then they put down this big bamboo cone, or cone made out of bamboo. And that sits on top, so the heat's up inside it, and it kills anything that's on the clay pots. So that's to build up to a certain temperature, and then they've got all this yogurt in buckets, and then they come over, lift this lid, and they fill all these pots, and then close the lid over again for the fermentation process. And it's an hours and hours of work in 130 degree temperature, with open fire pits and danger everywhere, and not a lot of space. So you're kind of squeezing around people as you're moving. Yeah, remarkable.
Wow.
The photos out of that spot were amazing.
Yeah.
But at the same time, my Lord, it's a lot of work, to get to it. You know, it's not a simple stand back and enjoy the world kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's a hard place because of all of that, but everything's great because of all of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all of that makes it remarkable.
Yeah.
So let's have a look at some of the photos I sent you. We can maybe put those up on Facebook or something.
I'll put them in the show notes for the episode on the website.
And these are just randomly chosen for no specific reasons necessarily. Yeah. But there's one really colourful image, 6424, which is all these people just basically walk along with one guy with his arms in the air. Well, we were on the border of India and Bangladesh, in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
And remember, most places we go to have never seen Westerners before.
Right.
Okay. So you're the first Westerners these people have ever met. But that's in the cities. Okay, and this is in the middle of nowhere on a tea plantation in the middle of nowhere. And we've just kind of driven onto this plantation because I wanted to see one, and there was nothing happening anywhere. It was empty. It was a holiday day.
Right.
So there's no one around anywhere. So we're looking, and then we heard this noise, this musical banging drums. So we started following it through the trees, through the tea trees, and we come over this rise, and there's all these colourful people walking down to this riverbank. There's probably 30 or 40 of them. Yeah. And there's a guy banging a drum, and people are dancing and singing, and they're carrying these big pots, aluminium pots, and they're walking down the river, and they're filling these pots up with water. And we got our fixers to find out what was going on. And it was a wedding, part of a pre-wedding ceremony that's happening in this little village. And the ceremony involves collecting of the water, it's called.
Right.
And it's for the bride and the groom to bathe before the wedding. It's a special blessed water for them to be bathed in, right? So all of a sudden, there's 9 Westerners standing on the top of this hill watching these people who've never ever seen. They've come and they're lovers. They think it's the best things. It's like a blessing to the married couple that we've shown up. So all of a sudden, they now have a procession all the way back from the river, all the way through the tea plantation back to their village. Yeah. So now we're dancing and walking along, trying to photograph through this procession, and everyone's laughing and pointing at each other, and it's goddamn hilarious. Yeah, it's fabulous. And the people who aren't directly family related to the wedding, there's a few like people from the villages are standing waiting for the procession to come past, and then they see others. It's like, oh my god, what's going on? And so it's all this festive kind of thing, and then we get into this area where there's this big tent being set up, and that's where the ceremony is going to be on. Yeah, it's all colourful. There's colourful ribbons and all kind of stuff, and so everyone's kind of been ushered in with all this group. I've backed out by this stage. I've taken a leap of faith and realised kind of what's about to happen, and got myself out of it because I was frickin' boiling, sweating like a pig, and desperate for a drink, and all the rest of the group got ushered into this tightly packed tent for the dancing and the singing.
Right.
Which I fortunately didn't have to do either. So I'm out there. I'm just standing there. So we're in the middle of nowhere. I'm standing there. I'm just kind of holding my phone. I've got my cameras on my body, but I'm holding my phone. And this little kid about 3 or 4 comes up to me and looks at me, looks at my hand where my phone's in. He looks at me and goes, iPhone 17 Pro Max? I go, what? In the middle. And I'm holding my phone, so you don't see the top bit of my phone. And he's nailed it. Yeah, we're in the middle of freaking nowhere. And iPhone 17 Pro Max. It's like, oh my God, what have we done to this world? So
I built that.
That too, isn't it? I've always said though, it's all the things that go wrong and all the unexpected things that make the stories and make the trips.
Oh, totally.
So that's an experience we'll never forget as a group because it was fabulous, but it was it's kind of whack, as well, amazingly funny, and the rest don't have any real stories behind them. There's one, probably my favourite photo of the trip so far for what I've actually looked at is the photo of 2 guys bringing in fishing net and a bag of fish out of the little black and white one.
That's great.
Simply because it's got an epicness to it, and the story's all there. The struggle, the tension in their arms, their strength as people is amazing.
Yeah.
These guys, one guy will swim out with this net in a massive arc. Right. And bring it around. Then they'll drag this net back in, bag up all the fish, walk up on the beach, and someone will be there to buy the fish. Yeah, right. And they'll sell the fish for a couple of shekels, and then they'll go back and do it again, over and over and over during the day, and that's their life every single day. Wow. To me, there's a lot of life in that shot. Yeah, and a lot of story being told just in that one little moment. So that might be end up being my favourite shot of the trip, but I really kind of like that. And there's one of this little kid just down the bottom there, just staring, arms folded, staring at me. It's just this tiny moment that happened for a second. It showed the amazingness of the Sony's eye control focus.
Yes, the eye focus is great.
Guys, because there's lots of foreground. This is a fish drying village,
right?
So you can imagine a village that your entire life, from when you're born till when you die, is getting fish, laying them out on tables and drying them, and then packing them up into bags. Yeah, that's your life. And this is what this kid's life. But this kid just was a little bit shy and just sort of snuck and just looking from behind a row of fish, just staring at me, only for a second before they disappeared. Yeah. But I think it's a beautiful moment. It's a haunting image. And he was smiling the rest of the time. There was this one moment he had this little mournful look on his face. Yeah. But again, we do tend to read our own emotions maybe into photos more than anything else, And the same again. There's a photo of just a guy by himself, all in black. Yeah, it's just his head, and I love the expression on his face. It's this melancholy and sad. So, and he was just in the entrance to a hut, right? So it's just a little natural light shot. But he was looking around, smiling at everybody else. A couple of people were taking his photo, and then. Just for a fleeting moment, he kind of, as they were walking off, they were going, and I was still there. And, I was trying to hang around a bit longer, and he just had this little reflective moment about, I don't know. He's thinking my life versus their life. Yeah, But he's the friendliest, happiest chap, so delighted to meet us. Yeah, but there's still that moment of, okay, well, that's my excitement for who knows how long. And again, this is only things that I think.
Your interpretation.
He might not be thinking anything remotely the same. You know, there's a photo of a bike there that I kind of like.
Yes,
only because every single trip you do, you've got to try and find a bike against a wall, and they were bloody hard to find. A decent bike against a wall shot. This is a bike against a wall of green.
Yeah.
But I do like that. And again, this is a small village where they build and repair boats as well.
Right.
Not on the size of scale container ships, but fishing boats, metal fishing boats. So behind us, there's all these guys just knocking rust off boats, but they're using, do you know that like a little a rock hammer? Like,
yes, like a fossicking hammer.
Shawshank Redemption. Do you ever see that?
Yep.
And he asked for a rock hammer, and this tiny little. Well, that's the size of hammers they got.
Right.
And then bang, 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 knocking on this ship that's hundreds of feet in size, and they're going to knock all the rust off with these tiny freaking hammers. So that's just a continuous just noise, a clang, 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 clang. And then there's guys with oxy torches welding and fixing things, So it's a scene of complete chaos, but behind it was this green and soft and gentle, and so the juxtaposition that no one else will get but me because I was there. But I kind of that's kind of thing that makes me like that shot. So there's only two others. There's one again when things go wrong. So there's two things we didn't get to do that was on the list to do. One was to go into this stone quarry where they wash out the rocks from the walls, but they were on strike that day.
Oh,
which we didn't know until we got there. Now we only drove 8 hours to get there, and they're on strike. And all power to them. I hope they got a great deal and they got better conditions and something improved in their lives because of it. And the other day was we were going into this aluminium factory where they make aluminium bowls and plates and all sorts of stuff. But just as we got there, the whole district had a power failure.
Oh.
And most of the stuff they use requires electricity. So they were not working because they couldn't.
Yeah, right.
So then we walked out to this little side street and there were all these little shops and these people. And again, there's all of a sudden 9 Westerners arriving in an environment that's never seen a Westerner before. And I just really kind of like this shot of this lady. I love the tones and the amount of textures and detail that's in if you zoom in, there's just so much texture and detail in this shot.
Yeah.
And it's just something about the flow, the softness and flow of her garb, her outfit, and then there's everything else is hard and strong and tough, and I don't know. It's just I love the balance and the tones. Yeah. It's funny. It's not a portrait per se. It's funny. I don't necessarily like my portraits very much because they're all a bit same. There's got to be like that guy I said before. It's got to have some emotion, or that kid. There's got to be something that I can feel and read a little bit more.
Yeah.
But I do love that environmental stuff where you can see a life. Or your impression of what that life is. Yeah.
Not far from where I work in Newcastle, there is they're not a mechanic, they're a shop that does chrome plating. But it's this gnarly old workshop that has got like 100 years of dust that's never been removed, And every time I've walked past it, I've thought to myself, geez, I'd love to go and introduce myself and say, I'd love to come and shoot some portraits with you guys, because I just...
There you go. That's your challenge for this year, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, I'm serious. Go and do it.
Yeah.
Life is full of too many what ifs.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What's the worst that can happen? They say no.
They say no, yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Or come inside and we've got a special lockbox we want to put you in. Yeah, that could be worse. Yeah. You get disappeared. We want to chrome you. We're going to chrome plate you. But please do. Please go and do it. And don't walk up and say, "Can I take your photo?" You walk up and say, "Hey, I love this place." Talk about them. Talk about their place. Show your appreciation of this place and say, "Look, my passion is this. Is there a chance I can take some shots, and I'd love to share some photos with you guys and make it a sharing thing.
Yeah,
and it could be awesome for both of you. Yeah, I really want to see it. So please do it.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Again, a day out shooting with a model or something real.
Yeah.
One is safe. One, you got to put yourself out there a little bit.
Yes. Yeah.
And here's a perfect segue, and I'm not talking about the things that you ride on.
Yeah.
On May the 12th.
Yeah.
Actually,
I won't be here.
On May the 13th, actually, I should say, in Australia.
Won't be here.
I know, it's not about you, it's about me. May the 12th, Eastern time in America. I think it's like Cincinnati in Ohio. I'm doing an online talk for ProCam camera stores. They've got 5 stores over there, and it's a free seminar. So if any one of our listeners wants to listen to me waffle on for an hour, but the talk topic is the art of photographing someone you don't know.
Right. Now, just to clarify, is it the 12th or is it the 13th?
It's the 12th in America. That's what I said.
Right.
May the 12th, 7 p.m. Eastern time in America.
Yep.
But that's May the 13th, 9 a.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time, or whatever it is, Eastern Time.
Standard time by then.
That's the one, yeah. In Australia.
Gotcha.
So it's the 13th here, and I'll shoot you a link for us to put in the notes.
Yeah, sure.
But so it's the art of photographing people you don't know. So it kind of fits in perfectly to, I know you won't be here, but this is the thing. This is the challenge of going up and meeting a complete stranger and asking to take their photo.
Yeah. And
how do you make it collaborative, and how do you make it interesting, and how do you make it not a rushed 2-minute job because you're a bit nervous, but delve deep. And it comes back to my I was doing a talk last night to the Bendigo Camera Club, and my talk was my infinite monkey theorem talk.
Right.
But I mentioned that talk, that part of the process is the dog car window.
Yep.
You've got to go into that scene and say, well, what are the 3 or 4 words that best describe? And what did you say before? You said dusty. What were the words you used for this place?
I said it was gnarly.
Gnarly.
100 years of dust that's never been cleaned off.
Yeah.
And it's just a workshop with character.
Character. Okay, well, they're your words. Yeah. They're the things you have to incorporate into the shot.
Oh, totally.
To tell the story. So it's just part of the the meeting and greeting is the hardest part. The worst thing they can say is say no. But then to give value to what you're doing, you've got to find the words that tell the story.
Yeah.
Sometimes the words are easy. Sometimes when you spend a bit of time there, you see a whole lot of other different words and different stories and different, the processes and what they do and why it looks like that.
Yeah.
I kind of liken it to reading a Dr. Seuss book, to reading something a little bit more complex, whatever that may be for your taste. But the gnarly, dusty character is Dr. Seuss. It's the simple, most obvious, easiest things, the easy story.
Yeah.
The low hanging fruit, shall we say? But it's a really important shots to take, because that is first impression. But then we want to look for a deeper story, something that's got a bit more meat to it than I hate green eggs and ham or whatever it is. Find that deeper story, and that's what, by spending more time there, and staying a little longer and looking a little deeper, you find those deeper stories. And it could be, you see this stuff in like old mechanics sheds, a calendar that's up there from 1971. It's still on the wall, so how do you incorporate that into the shot? Because that's that speaks so much volumes about who this person is, is by they haven't bothered to change the calendar, because eventually the dates will come back round again. They'll be accurate again eventually. So
a stopped clock is right twice a day.
Exactly. And so these are the cool deeper stories we can find when we go into places like that. So I'd really love you to do it.
Okay.
I would really love to see it.
Okay.
Yeah. Actually, whilst I think I might be coming to Sydney soon to do some workshops, and maybe talks for a store up there. I'm doing. It's not settled totally yet, but I'll be doing Queensland, Sydney, and Melbourne.
Okay, well, just don't make it the last 3 weeks of May.
It's the last 3 weeks of May. No, it's going to be June or July. The dates aren't set yet. So maybe we find time that the two of us go there.
Well, it's in Newcastle.
I don't know where that is.
2.5 hours north of Sydney. It's a long drive.
Don't want to do that.
No, I didn't think you would.
Actually, my kiddo was up in Newcastle, or near Newcastle last week. He was up there with his partner for a week. Wyong, is that a place?
Yes. That's where my wife used to work.
Really?
Yeah. She used to work in Wyong. Doesn't now, but...
So that's right. He was all all the previous week or so on the first week of school holidays. Now, there's one last photo I want to talk about, mostly because it's kind of directly opposite of everything else in my Bangladesh shots.
Yep.
So it's just a fishing boat heading out to sea in the early morning in the mist.
Love it.
And because it's soft, and it's peaceful, and it's quiet, and it's evocative. So you think there's two guys standing on the boat. They're hard to see because they're small in the front. Yeah. But there's two guys just standing. They're heading out towards the sun and heading out towards the sea, and it's hard to find those quiet moments in Bangladesh, but they're really cool juxtapositions to have when you can get them, So it was a pretty incredible trip. Yeah, there was a few little dramas here and there, as it always is. It's hard to manage people's expectations as well about, if you don't know what on earth you're getting yourself into. And people are posting photos on their Facebook as they're going along, and people are commenting, well, what kind of trip are you on? We're in a brick quarry, we're in a furnace place, melting propeller. What kind of holiday is this? It is. But I did get a lovely couple of compliments from people saying that no one does tours like I do tours. Now, I'm not sure if that was a compliment or an insult. As a glass half full kind of guy, I'm taking it as no. As far as the amount of opportunities to shoot are quite remarkable. So I have 2 spaces left for November. Yeah,
that's because Glenn made us work for it 20 hours a day, and we were only getting allowed 4 hours of sleep.
That's right. But you've got 3 good photos, so shut up. So I've got 2 spots left in November if anyone wants to come to the most remarkable place on the planet.
For Bangladesh again.
Yeah. So,
sweet.
And that's going to be even better because it's we're going for this candlelight festival at night, which looks remarkable. I've never shot it, but it looks. I can't wait to take the photos. It's going to be.
Why don't they hold it in the day?
Yeah, it's so inconvenient. Yeah, but it's a little bit like, I don't know what, I think it's a Hindu festival,
right?
But it's a little bit like Ramadan. So we were there in Bangladesh during Ramadan. So towards sunset. You see hundreds of people all lined up sitting on the side of the street. They're very poor, and charities have given them food. So they've got this little container of rice, little container of food, a bit of fruit, and each person had a bottle of water, and everyone's got that in front of them all the way down these rows of people, and they also sit there and they can't eat until the end of Ramadan for that day.
Yeah, until the sun goes down.
So until sitting, and then there's a call, and then bang. So this candle festival in Bangladesh is very similar, whereas they burn these candles and they can't eat till the candle expires.
Oh.
So, yeah. blowing away on it like crazy. But that I think, and when you can imagine you're in a temple with hundreds of people sitting around, hundreds of candles all lit at night time, praying and singing and celebrating and stuff, it'll be pretty epic. So I'm looking forward to the shots we get in that. So anyway, that was Bangladesh.
Awesome.
If anyone doesn't follow me on Facebook, then you can look at there's a bunch of more photos on there, and I'm sure at some point I'll feel the energy to look at the rest of the photos. Post some more, but that might be a while.
Yeah.
Boy. Anyway,
cool.
I think that's it. I think that's about it in my list of stuff to talk about. There was a GoPro thing, but I don't care about it anymore.
Yeah, gone off it.
Yeah.
It's actually interesting that you should bring up GoPro because I'm in the stages now of thinking about, our trip to Croatia and Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro. And Max left here with us when he went to Darwin his GoPro. And I said to him at one point, I said, do you want your GoPro? And he went, nah, you can have it. And I went, oh, okay. And it's a GoPro Hero 2018.
Right.
And I just happened to be having a quote-unquote conversation with Gemini the other night. Oh, this is probably about 2 weeks ago now.
Recently.
And I said to Gemini, because I've been discussing shooting video. I'm getting right into the video thing. And so I was just talking about, shooting video when we're over there and what picture profiles I'd be using and shooting an S-Log and all that kind of stuff.
So overcomplicating it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I said to Gemini, I'm also taking a GoPro 2018.
Yeah.
And Gemini says to me, oh, Did you know that the Hero 2018 is actually a crippled version of a Hero 5 Black? And I went, what? And Gemini says, yeah, it's a quite well-publicised thing on the web where if you flash the firmware, you can unlock all of these features that were crippled. And basically the story was that GoPro had got the following camera, which was the Hero 6, ready to ship, but they were still sitting on a bucket load of Hero 5s that they hadn't sold. So they came up with the idea of, we'll just cripple some of the features and then we can sell it cheaper. So they were able to knock like $100 off a $400 camera, off a $300 camera or whatever it was, and sell it with all of these things removed. So as a Hero 2018, all it would do was shoot in its standard GoPro color space where, it's basically like shooting a JPEG. It comes with pre-baked in saturation and contrast curve, and that was it. And you had no control over anything. So anyway, I went down this rabbit hole, found the firmware hack, and managed to flash the firmware on this thing. And so now when you start it up, it says Hero 5.
Oh, wow.
And it's unlocked what GoPro calls ProTune. And ProTune allows you to change the white balance, change the shutter speed, change the ISO. It allows you to choose the standard color profile, or what it calls flat, which is nowhere near as flat looking as a log format you would get out of a mirrorless camera. Like if I think of Sony S-Log 2, it's nowhere near as flat as that profile, but it's got much more range to it to allow for, a bit of color grading after the fact. Yeah, so I'm absolutely stoked. I've now got this this Hero 5 Black instead of a 2018 that was crippled to just one function only.
That's amazing, isn't it, hey?
Yeah.
I bet your kiddo didn't know. They haven't told him, I'm sure.
I did tell him. I sent him a message yesterday. I said, did you know that your Hero 2018... Blah, 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 blah. So we had a good old chat about it.
There you go. Whatever.
And the other thing I have bought for myself...
Yeah.
I'll have to dig out a link and put this in the show notes so that people can see it, because obviously Glyn can see it, but no one else can see it. This is a company called Hollyland, who I had never heard of until 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
This is the Lark M2S, and this particular variant is called the Ultimate. So what it is a recharging case with a USB-C port on the back that holds 30 hours of charge. What we've got here are two omnidirectional microphones, and you can see, Glyn, there's a small side and a large side.
Yeah.
The small side is the microphone. So literally you put it on your shirt and there's that much visible.
Yeah, bugger all.
Like just that little bit there. But it also comes with a couple of dead cats, so if you are going to be outdoors, you can put a dead cat on it. It then has this little thing, which is the...
That's so small, I would recommend to use the dead kitten.
Yeah. So this is the receiver, which has it has a USB-C port on it, but it also has a 3.5mm mini jack.
Yeah.
This goes on the hot shoe of your camera, and you then run a 3.5mm cable from this receiver into your mic input on your camera.
Yeah.
And you are then able to use these two microphones, because it comes with two, to record really good quality audio onto your camera when you're shooting video.
How cool.
But then, wait, there's more.
No, there's more.
It comes with two little dongles. One is USB-C and the other one is Lightning. These can be plugged into your phone, so then you can shoot video on your phone and get the audio from these microphones.
Man.
And this whole thing, like that whole kit, $168.
Wow.
It's insane. And the audio quality is phenomenal. And I'm an audio engineer. I know my stuff.
You do? I'm told. I've never listened to any of your work, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, exactly. So I have been playing with this for the last couple of weeks, and I'm just absolutely blown away with it. Oh, and the microphones will run for 9 hours on a charge.
Wow.
And you can put them back into that that hard case that they come in, the charging case, and they will recharge in an hour and a half.
Wow.
And the charging case is good for 2.5 full recharges of your microphones. So you can absolutely get through a day with both mics running. Oh, the microphones have a noise reduction algorithm that you can turn on or off. So if you want noise reduction, you can have noise reduction. Yeah. It's just a phenomenal product. I'm not being paid to say this. I'm just absolutely blown away with how good a product it is. And for the price, that was just a bonus. So
for one standard microphone, basically, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to taking that to Europe with us.
Are you going to interview some old people?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So
amazing.
Yeah.
What if you can't understand what they're saying to you? Can the microphone go into your iPhone, into the translator app, and it translates in their voice and record that? that would be...
Wouldn't that be fantastic? That's probably about 2 or 3 years away, but yes.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's not far away, is
It's not far off.
Yeah. Wow. And not only that, it changes the movement of their lips on the video with AI to match the English version of what they're saying.
Yeah. To make it look like they spoke English.
Exactly. You know that's going to happen too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because all these Hollywood movies that get dubbed into other languages, all of a sudden the mouse will be moving the...
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
What a time we live in.
Crazy times. Yeah.
So that's been my last month or so. Because what happened was there was a chain of events that has led me to this point. One was we came back from Alaska in September of 23, and I'd shot all this video stuff, and I was just really uninspired by it. When I got home, I copied it all to the hard drive, and I sort of quickly flicked through it and went, I don't know what to do with this. You know, I didn't have a story as such, and I was just really just not inspired to do anything with it. And I actually said to Kath, probably beginning of last year, which by that stage it was 16 months since we'd got home. And I said, I just don't know if I'm ever going to do anything with the Alaska footage. And she said, well, then don't. If you're not inspired by it, don't bother. Anyway, comes January of this year.
Don't you hate logic?
Comes January of this year, and I just suddenly went, screw it, I'm going to have a look at it. I'm going to start chopping it up. I'm going to see what's there. And once I got started on it, I just couldn't stop. And so then when I'd finished editing it, I mixed it all in 5.1, as you do.
As you do.
And then...
As you do.
As I do, yeah.
More emphasis on the you.
And so then I thought about the video that I'd shot on our Sri Lanka and Maldives trip in 2019, and I thought I could really employ some of the things that I've learned since with that. So I'm going to go back and re-edit that. So I went back and re-edited that and mixed that in 5.1. and so now it's kind of got me looking at YouTube or, videos about, storytelling and videoing yourself and how to create a good travel video and yada, yada, yada. So whether I'm going to be epic from day one, I don't know. I very much doubt it, but I'm at least going with the intent of shooting more video and better quality video than what I've shot in the past, in the hopes that I can then turn it into something decent. So maybe
your dog car window with your video too.
That's it.
It works for both.
And something I've learned from the ABC, because I mentioned a while back that I went out and helped shoot a story for Australian Story.
Yeah.
And one of the things I learned from the journo who I worked with on that shoot, a girl called Romy, she said the camos who, you know, do this stuff for a living all the time always shoot a wide shot from way back, all your mid-range stuff, and then some really close-up detail stuff, you know. And she said, you know, everything we shoot, make sure you get all three angles. And so, you know, I did for that story, and it's kind of stuck in the back of my head as like when I go traveling this time, I'm going to make sure I do that, because that's not something I've ever done in the past. So,
you know, I say the same for photos. Exactly the same thing. When you get to a scene, do you wide, do you mid, do you close up, do you detail stuff?
Yeah, right.
Tell a story through a series rather than one image if the environment needs it. Yeah, like that lady standing in front of that shop. Yeah, that's your wide.
Yeah.
But a wider one would have shown the environment of that, where that shop is.
Sure.
Then that would be the medium. Then the close-up with all the textures of all the stuff that she's selling, and maybe a portrait of her for that close-up to see the life. Yeah. Build it over. But of course, video is a little easier because you've got a flow. What do you do with photo? If you have that many photos, you've got to make books. Yeah, it's going to be a book every time. There's no way to showcase those photos properly. Or I suppose you could put them into a slideshow, but who wants to watch that? Yeah. But so it's good advice. Wide, medium, close. Yeah. So high and low too.
Sorry?
High shot, low shot.
Oh, okay, yes.
Shot,
angles. Angles, right.
Yeah. Different perspectives, because everyone shoots at their eyesight level.
Yes.
So how does the world look different? How do you empower or minimize things by height or lack of?
Yeah.
God, some good advice in this podcast, mate. Right at the very end.
Right at the end.
Yeah. So for those
make them suffer through 50 minutes of crap to get to the money shot.
So once they wake up the last couple of minutes, they'll get some good advice.
That's it.
God. All right. Well, are we going to squeeze another episode in before you leave?
We should aim to do that. Yeah.
Let's try and do that.
So that will be the first week of May, because we fly out on Saturday the 9th. So we'll have to get it done probably early in the week, like the Monday, because I'll need to get it all edited and uploaded and basically ready to release before I leave. So,
what day does this video come out?
You mean this podcast?
That's right. I don't know what we're doing.
This podcast is coming out on Sunday.
Sunday. Well, that's my daughter's birthday, so I'd like to say happy birthday, Grace.
Nice. Happy birthday, Grace.
Yeah, 15 years old.
God, that's just crazy.
It's my dad's birthday too.
Right.
He's dead years old.
Right.
Yeah. He's not gaining any.
Right.
We're all slowly catching up on him.
Excellent. Mate, good to chat.
Good to talk to you too. I'll see you in a couple of weeks.
Will do.
Bye all.
See ya.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.